Drake and PartyNextDoor, Some Sexy Songs for You got robbed of Album of the Year at the BET Awards this year. This is something I wanted to talk about for a minute now. Didn't have time to get to it during the week, so we're here now. Now, there was a time in my young adolescence where I really rocked with the BET Award. I mean, me and my family would watch it faithfully on a year-to-year basis. That shit to me don't hit the same as it did back then. That sentiment goes towards all award shows, really. I just don't get the same excitement as I did when I was a kid. But this fleece that happened last Monday, I gotta talk about it. I already know the spiel, man. If y'all like anything I gotta say all in this video, y'all know what y'all gotta do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. Let's just get right into the topic of conversation. Now, quick disclaimer before I go in. I definitely want to incite discussions with this video, of course, because I know it's a controversial take that I'm about to put out there. At the end of the day, I don't think it was a wash that Some Sexy Songs for You should have beat out GNX for Album of the Year award. I just personally think it was a better album and more deserving of the award. I fuck with GNX heavy. I'm in no way coming at Kendrick Lamar or anything that I'm saying right now. I'm just sharing my opinion on the whole situation. So let's lay the groundwork real quick. Here are the nominees for the Album of the Year award at the BET Awards this year. I'm gonna be honest, I have not listened to all of these albums. Some I've been meaning to, I just haven't had the time, like that Doechii and The Weeknd album. Others are just not gonna get played in the whip. Like that Chris Brown album, I know that shit got like 150 songs on there. I'm good. For the ones I have listened to, Some Sexy Songs for You, We Don't Trust You, GNX, and Glorious. I think all of them got a case to be up there if we be honest. Glorious, maybe not so much. I just personally don't get Album of the Year vibes from this album. It's still a good album. I just don't understand how Chromacopia got left off of this list though. I'm not even arguing that Chromacopia should took Glorious's spot, but it should have at least been in the rotation of nominees. This shit slapped from start to finish. As we well know by now though, GNX ended up winning out in Album of the Year conversation. When I first heard that news, I was like, oh, Kendrick got Album of the Year, that's lit. Boy been having a crazy year. Let me see who the other nominees are. Like I said, I haven't listened to all these albums, but when I see an album like Some Sexy Songs for You over here and GNX manages to beat it out, when I see an album like We Don't Trust You up here, you telling me GNX beat that album? Granted, Kendrick had like that on We Don't Trust You. That song was a hit. It's definitely top 5 on the album and it's not 5. I would still take We Don't Trust You over GNX even. So now I'm happy my son Kendrick got the award, but I'm kind of confused how he managed to beat out these two juggernauts of albums. Mind you, GNX is an album that had no promo behind it, which would up his case for Album of the Year, right? Like he literally dropped it with no promo. Damn near every track on that album hit for me personally. It's a great body of work, a great return from the other controversial album that he had before this, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, that I also like. And I think that this one is even better than that one. But I don't know, bro. I bumped Some Sexy Songs for You and GNX back to back on this long ride I had to take this weekend. Some Sexy Songs for You is just better to me. Mind you, I wasn't even the biggest fan of this album when it first dropped. The way I would hear people talk about this album when it first dropped, I was so confused. I'm like, this shit is really not all that. But for some reason, every time I go back to this album, I kid you not, this shit get better with every listen. Other than that one Meet Your Padre track Drake threw on there for whatever reason. Bro is really one of the only artists to just switch up their nationality whenever they feel like it. But literally every other track on this album is tough. Mind you, unlike GNX, this is an album that was heavily anticipated by fans. I think this album was talked about even before the Drake and Kendrick beef kicked off, which we go talk about a little later on in this video. From what I was seeing, niggas could not wait for a Drake and Party collab. Me personally, I was hoping Drake dropped a solo album after For All the Dogs, man. He had to spin back after that disrespect he took from Kendrick. I was hoping to hear rapping Drake for the most part, but y'all already know he getting that R&B bag, he gets to cooking. As I'm processing all this information, as I'm going back to run through GNX and Some Sexy Songs for You respectfully, I'm thinking to myself, has a collab album ever won Album of the Year before at the BET Awards? So I look it up and y'all will not believe what I seen when I looked this up. It was so bad, I literally screenshotted it twice. I couldn't believe it. These niggas is trying to jack GNX is a collab album. Now granted, this is just AI overview. We don't buy too much stock in this bullshit. But this is just insane work. The description says GNX a collaborative album with various artists. Like, yeah, he got some features on there. That don't make that shit a collab album. This is a collaborative project. This is a collab album. Nigga, this is a collab album. This GNX album is a man and some features. And shout out to Kendrick because he put on a lot of low-key West Coast artists on this album. A lot of them got to shine as features on this project and have gone on to do a lot of great things since then. That don't make GNX a collab album by any means. But what Drake and PartyNextDoor is doing is a collab album. What Future and Metro Boomin did on We Don't Trust You, that's a collab album. Yeah, the AI overview just pissed me off on that one. Low-key, it inspired me to want to make this video even more. Some of y'all might know this, some of y'all might not. I had a whole YouTube channel before the one that I be posting on now. And on that channel, I started covering the Drake and Kendrick beef when it was at its height. I'm talking, I couldn't even get this video out because Kendrick was dropping track after track after track on this man Drake after he asked him to drop multiple tracks on his ass. I'm not gonna lie, I've never in my life felt like the beef has helped amp Kendrick up on anything outside of the Super Bowl. Like him getting that Super Super Bowl opportunity was a direct result of this beef. Let's be honest. Not even saying Dawson not lit enough to have his own Super Bowl show on his own. I mean, we've seen the show he put on this year, but he's literally already performed the Super Bowl with other artists some years ago, so we already know he got it like that. But the beef definitely helped him secure the Super Bowl spot if it was already set up for him beforehand, which I kind of doubt. This might sound crazy to some, but this is the second time where I feel like that beef helped him out. I don't know. We already know Drake got a lot of haters. A lot of people do not mess with Drake like that. Is it really crazy to believe that the beef did not help Kendrick in this case to secure the Album of the Year award? Now, yes, obviously he worked hard. He put out a great project, no promo. There was very little mention of the beef on that project at all. The only real mentions of it that I remember was on Whacked Out Murals and on Reincarnated, that little conversation he was having with Dude at the end of the song. Maybe you could argue some bars on Squabble Up and Peekaboo, but I wouldn't even go that far. And on its own, it's a great project, but we gotta keep in mind the event that took place last year. This beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar was one of them ones. It's gonna be one that's remembered throughout history. And that shit is still fresh in a lot of people's mind. It's some people who still jack they not listening to Drake or J. Cole after this beef, which I think is crazy. Like, yeah, Drake lost and J. Cole decided to go out the way he did, but that don't got nothing to do with the music they dropping. Even though they was dropping some wild shit right after the beef, Drake talking about some Wagwan Delilah and J. Cole dropping that Grippy song with Cash Cobain. Neither of them songs ever got played once in the V. Then you gotta think of the song that came out of the beef too. Not Like Us is a generational hit, as it should be. But if you compound that with the fact that in recent years, people have really been looking for Drake to have some kind of downfall, a lot of haters are loving this shit. In my eyes, they're not trying to see this shit stop. All gas, no brakes. Why not? You already know some Drake haters in that 500. I know y'all next argument is gonna be, well, Kendrick could have haters too. That is true, but he just came up of a massive win in this beef. I know it was a year ago at this point, but the impact is still being felt clearly. People still getting hype at his shows well past the Super Bowl, mind you. It's off the initial build-up of Euphoria or the of Not Like Us. It still got the same amount of hype like it was dropped yesterday. I say all that to say that there's no way that this beef did not play a part in him winning the Album of the Year award. Like I said though, at the end of the day, Kendrick won Album of the Year. It is what it is. I kind of feel like the beef spurred that win, but these are two greats at the end of the day. I do find those who are hating on Kendrick to the point of saying that he was not relevant before this beef crazy though. I can understand you questioning how albums like Some Sexy Songs for You or We Don't Trust You didn't win Album of the Year. But to say Kendrick wasn't lit to no degree before the beef is just insanity. That's hate on a level that I cannot get to. I'm not gonna lie. This man, Kendrick Lamar, dropped Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm good off all that talk. But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Just a quick little yap session on why I feel like Some Sexy Songs for You got robbed. I really do feel like that shit was media driven and the beef played a huge part in it. Because GNX is a great album, but amongst these nominees, like, I feel like We Don't Trust You even deserve the spot over it, if we be honest. I'll leave y'all thoughts in the comments though. Who do y'all believe earned Album of the Year this year? The album you feel like deserved it ain't in his nominees, drop it in the comments regardless. That's all I got for y'all today though. I'll be your host, Jay, so I hope you've been entertained. We gonna talk soon. Peace, y'all.